All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Chris Slaveda, SimpleListingSolutions.com. And it might not be morning where you're at. I've said this before. You could be in Australia, and that makes it, I don't know what time that makes it in Australia. But you might not be here on the West Coast, so maybe it's later in the day for you. Anyhow, I want to talk to you about expired listings and real estate. In real estate, that's like low-hanging fruit, like expired listings for sale by owners. Right? And I call it low-hanging fruit because those are people who have identified themselves. They've raised their hand and said, "Hey, we want to sell our house." They're trying to sell. And in the case of expired, they're trying, it didn't work. So there's some great dialogue out there by the Ferry family, right, for working with expired listings, and it is good dialogue. And you have to have, you know, I hate to say you have to have a script, but you kind of do have to have a script, right? Yeah, there has to be intention and purpose behind your words, and that usually is a script. And the reason you have to have a script, if you're sitting here calling expireds, is because when you hit one, ding, cool, got an appointment, you don't want to have to think, oh man, why did that one work and the other one's doing, what am I saying? If you're saying different stuff to people all the time, you don't know like what's working and what's not working, right? That's thing number one. Thing number two about scripts is there's a real purpose, like to your phone call, and you want to get there. You want to get to it, right? And then keep going. And there's a way to do that, and it's called being really on purpose with your words. And that's like a script. So let's talk about expired listings from a higher sort of altitude, from not just the script, but what are you going to say, but as a marketer with a real estate license, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the person that we'd like to develop a relationship with so that we can better empathize with their situation, understand where they're at, and create some energy between the two of us. Right? That's how we develop relationships and get listings, right? By connecting with people where they're at. Okay, so if I'm an expired listing and you just got the data, like because you use landvoice.com or you use theredx.com or you use Rebo or Vulcan or Mojo or stuff like that, right? Not the MLS. I mean, you could use the MLS, but that's weak. And I'll tell you why getting your expired data from the MLS is weak. First of all, real estate agents never put the seller's phone number in there unless they're a rookie, right? They change it, they play with it, they make it their own phone number because they don't want agents calling on their expired listing, right? And that's slow. If you use like the RedX or landvoice.com, here's your daily expired listings. You could say, I don't even want to look at anything under $750,000. Show me all the expired listings from $750,000 to $2 million that have expired in the last 24 hours, right? Or canceled. I don't want to see withdrawn. I don't want to see any of that weird stuff. I just want expired and canceled. Show me those. Right, and then the RedX, these data providers, here you go, and here's all their phone numbers and cell phone numbers, and here's a speed dialer. You can just start dialing and taking notes like right away, right? And agents are doing that every morning because they go to the KW Bold training that says go call them early, right? And you'll be surprised. You start calling people at 8:38. They're the fifth agent to call me today, right? Their agents are on it early. You know, don't be afraid to call expired listings because you go, oh, everybody's calling them. Not true. Not true. You want to call, if you're not calling expired listings, or somebody's not calling for you, why? These are people who are trying to sell their house. And they're going to relist with another agent, or they're not. So here's the thing. This goes back to putting yourself in the shoes of your prospect. When a listing expires, they're only in one of three spaces that they can occupy, right? One space is, we still need to sell our house, and we're going to try again. We're going to relist it. Right? Another space that they can occupy is, we're done. We're not going to put it back on the market. We'll try again next year. Or never. Right? Those are two spaces that they might be in. Right? Now, let's go back to space number one. Yeah, we still need to sell. We're going to put it back on the market. A lot of those people, you'd be surprised, they're going to relist it with the same agent. They're like, oh yeah, like it comes off the market, expired, but they say, oh yeah, we're just taking a break. My agent's doing something. We're going to reach it to and put it back on. No, we're happy with our agent. That's a lot of them fall into that category. So if you've got 50 phone numbers to call from the last 24 hours, all new expireds, and you can get them all on the phone, you're going to see that they fall into these categories called no, we're done, right? or we're going to relist, but we're using the same agent, or we don't know what we're going to do right now, and that's your next listing too. The we don't know, that's your next listing, right? If you're good with your words and you understand the purpose of this phone call is to schedule an appointment, right? It's to schedule an appointment. So agents say, hey, I don't want to call because a bunch of agents are calling. Not a bunch of agents are calling, but you are true. Some agents, there's truth that some agents are calling. Like if you call every morning and you start your calls at 8:30 a.m., yeah, you'll hear from people that, yeah, I've already heard from them, and that's okay. That's okay. Have dialogue for that. You can just say, hey, really? You've only heard from 9 of us? There's like 25,000 licensed realtors in this county. Only 9 of us working this morning? I'm sorry. Listen, the last thing in the world I want to do is call people up and irritate them. That's not the purpose of this call. And so I apologize if some of my colleagues have irritated you already. Listen, I'd like to, right? You can just handle it, right? You're an adult and you're a real estate expert. So these are great places to get listings. Right? People, they'll talk to you. You'll find, even if they start out a little bit hostile, you'll find they'll talk to you if you keep talking to them intentionally on purpose with good questions, like you're in control of the conversation. I'm going to give you an example. I called a woman. She was so irritated when she answered the phone. Another damn real estate agent. She was going off. I was like, yikes. Right? Your profession it disgusts me. Yeah, I mean, she was going off. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I wanted the listing because it was like $1.4 million. It was a nice listing in a nice neighborhood. And so she went off. And then I said, boy, I am so sorry. When she stopped, I just said, boy, I am so sorry. What can you say to that? You're not going to punch somebody in the face verbally who just said, boy, I'm so sorry. Right? And so there was a moment of silence. And I said, hey, listen, I don't know what other realtors have done to make you feel the way you feel. But I've met some realtors out there that I could see maybe you ran across some of them. I really apologize. That's not me. I have never had anybody speak of me the way you've just talked about just the real estate profession as a whole. I've never heard that. And again, I apologize for people who've gone before me and really stunk it up for you. I was calling because I had something that I thought you'd really be interested in knowing. And then there's some silence. And then she said, what? And I said, well, listen, I know your home came off the market. I know you had it on, for a while, and that's probably frustrating. But check it out. I specialize, and I know you've probably heard this before, but in my case, it's true. I specialize in selling homes just like the home you just took off the market. In fact, I'm flabbergasted. Well, I've got a few ideas why I didn't sell, but that house is right in my strike zone. And so here's what I wanted to let you know. If you're thinking about putting that thing back on the market at any time in the future, could we just meet? Maybe just for a cup of coffee? I would love to interview for the job of selling agent. And I think if you met with me in person, you'd have a completely different experience than the ones you've had in the past. Right? And you might find that we could have a nice relationship together and I could help you. It changed everything. It changed everything because I was present. I wasn't afraid. I was present to where she was at. I let her go. She talked to you, and I said, whoa. I didn't get mad or defensive. I just heard. I listened, right? And I didn't try to make her wrong. She's not wrong. She's had some bad experiences. So when you're calling people, you have to, you almost have to be like a psychologist, right? Like a therapist, like who a real good, listener because they'll reveal stuff to you, right? And you have to ask good questions, like a therapist would, right? And then listen to the answer, right? And you're moving toward scheduling an appointment to do what? To just come see the house. Can I just come take a look at it? You guys tell me it's off the market forever. Like if I brought you guys a great offer, would you not accept it? Well, yeah, we'd consider an offer if you could bring some buyers. Well, I don't know if I can bring buyers until I see the house. Is there a time this week I could just stop by and see the house and meet you guys? Okay, yeah, you can come by. Right? That's where we're moving. That's where we're moving towards. And then when we get in front of people, we can't be afraid to say, hey, listen, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. right? Should you guys decide to try again, I'd love an opportunity to interview for the job of selling agent. Do you know what we do at Keller Williams to sell homes? It's a great question. And I'm not with Keller Williams. I like the sound of the way it rolls off my tongue. But I could easily say, hey, listen, if you guys decide to try again, I would love an opportunity to interview for the job of selling agent. Do you know what we do at ABC Realty to sell homes? Right? And then be ready to step into that. Right? Be ready, because they're going to say no. Right? Your answer better be good. You're not getting a listing. Right? You got to be good with your words. And you've got to be strong in your confidence and your personality. And you have to go deliver good service. You have to. If you go deliver poor service, if you don't treat people as if they are, if you don't treat people as if they can't go onto Yelp right now and call you out, right, you're out of business in real estate, right? Remember that. Remember that. So go do good work. I hope you got some great ideas. Bye.